Thanks, Jerry. Thanks, ladies and gentlemen. It's great to see so many people here. As I'm sure a number of people have said this morning, it really is a turnaround in the industry over the last 12 months. And for those of us who have been around for quite a while, it's fantastic to see a recovery underway. In particular, as Impact has been listed now for pretty close to 10 years, and this is a picture of me, when we started. And there's been many times over those 10 years when we've looked and felt like this, and I'm sure it's been the same for those of you that are investors, almost wanting to give up. And our story really today is just to focus on our Commonwealth project in New South Wales and talk about how close we'd come a couple of years ago. Almost gave up as obviously things were a bit tough, but in the last 12 months we've delivered some outstanding results, and what I think is certainly one of the most exciting exploration plays in Eastern Australia is now starting to come to the fore at Commonwealth. So Impact, we listed in 2006, we have 789 shares on issue, we've got good cash in the bank, 2.3 million, and we've got a strong board. This board has been very stable over the last 5 or 6 years. We have an investment from Squadron Resources, Andrew Forrest Group, 6% they hold, and they hold a convertible note. Our market cap has actually been very good over the last few years. A lot of people's share prices have staged excellent recoveries recently, but we've remained active during the downtime and delivered good results, and so our market cap has remained fairly strong over the last 3 years at about 20 million. So we're in a good financial position. So here's the Commonwealth project, and this is where most of our action has been over the last 12 months. We have a resource here, the Commonwealth resource, but really the excitement is what is happening below this hill here. This is Silica Hill. This is probably about 300 metres of vertical extent. All of our work has been focused down here, and since I ever first laid eyes on this project, the question was what's hiding beneath here, and we really think that there's something truly special lurking there waiting to be discovered. Where is Commonwealth? It's in the Lachlan Fold Belt in eastern Australia. It's a couple of hundred k's northwest of Sydney. The belt is well known for its world-class mines, Katie Ridgeway, which is obviously a fabulous large underground bulk mining proposition there. Tens of millions of ounces of gold and several million tonnes of copper. The other standout would be Cowell, which Evolution operating. The head grade there is about 0.8 grams per tonne gold, so very low grade but large tonnage. And not heard about too much now since Rio sold it to the Chinese, but North Parkes is a very good gold copper mine, and the Chinese there have basically a 100-year plan ahead of them to try and keep that mine in operation. So fantastic place to be located. We've been very much focused since we got the project 3 years ago on the central part of the project area. Commonwealth, the main shaft area was mined in the early 1900s, and we've defined a resource there now over about 300-400 metres of strike, and but seems to be connected to our emerging discovery at Silica Hill. And there's also work that we've done at Welcome Jack out through here to the east, about 2 kilometres away, and also to the north at the Donut target. We believe very much that this is one part of one very large system. These are multiple linked structures within this area covering about 5 square kilometres, and we've only really just tickled the edge of it with our work to date down here. This is the resource. Look, it's modest in size, 700,000 tonnes. It's about 2.8 grams of gold and just 1.5 ounces of silver with some modest lead and zinc. However, it's about 4.5 grams gold equivalent, 100,000 ounces. But the thing that's always attracted us here is that that's about 1,000 ounces per vertical metre from surface. And any of you that are miners would know that that's the potential very profitable open pit, which this would be, should we prove that there are more resources there. Obviously, we think there's a lot more there. We think this really does have multi-million ounce potential in this project area, otherwise we wouldn't be there. I also went to the same school at Western Mining that Rob Bills did, and a number of other speakers here today, and we're all driven by the excitement of making this big discovery. It's why we're still here after all of the cycles, and certainly still here after the miserable 4 years we've just had to endure. This is just a quick slide showing the resource outline and some of the shoots of gold in here. This is sort of the 1 gram outline in the yellow and 5 grams in the red. There's some southerly plunging shoots in through here. We've had some excellent results. The northern part of the resource is actually quite high grade. This is really what we're trying to find more of at Commonwealth, 145,000 tonnes at about 10 grams gold equivalent. And in our campaign last year, standout intercept here, 7 metres at 6 grams gold, nearly 500 grams per tonne silver, 7% zinc and nearly 3% lead. And it's a massive sulphide body, seems to extend to depth. We've got drill targets here, and we seem to be getting increasing copper shown in the green here at depth. There are also other standout intercepts, 41 metres at 41 grams of gold and 2 ounces of silver, plus significant lead and zinc at the southern edge of the ore body. Drilling nearby last year, 13 metres at about 2 grams of gold and just under an ounce of silver. This is all open at depth, down plunge, both in basically in all directions, obviously not up dip because this is the surface here. And so conceptually that's where we're sort of seeing our potential start a pit should we find more resources. We released today some drill results from Silica Hill and also some IP results. This is a section line running from Commonwealth itself through to Silica Hill. Here are some drill traces at Silica Hill, which I'll come back to in further slides. This is the resource outline at Commonwealth, and basically it's coming out towards you in this slide. And we've identified a conductor below the mineralisation at main shaft, where the high-grade massive sulphide lens is. And interestingly enough, the deepest drill hole we have there is 30 metres at 0.13 copper, including a metre at 0.7 copper. There's zinc, there's lead, there's over an ounce of silver, and there's a hint of gold there. The mineralisation is plunging out of section here. This is our most copper-rich drill hole, and we think there's a real chance now that we're going to develop into a copper-rich system as we drill further at depth underneath the known resource in our next campaign. And we're looking to start that as soon as we can, probably by April we should be up and running. But really, Silica Hill is the story that's been emerging and over the last 12 months. This is a planned view of some of the IP data that we did last year. It hasn't got the new data in it, which we released today. This is the same resource that I showed previously. It's the Commonwealth resource. It's about 400 metres. And this was the situation before we started drilling last year. And in 2014-15, we drilled an RC hole and a diamond hole. We had 150 metres here at about 5 grams silver. And interestingly here, an RC hole, 20 metres at 44 grams of silver. Now we're always going to go back to that. That's about 20 metres at about 0.5 grams gold equivalent, just to convert it. And as it turns out, it was quite difficult to see mineralisation in here. It wasn't until we got the assays back that there's some very subtle fine-grained sulphides visible. But basically we stopped short 3 metres from a high-grade silver vein carrying 3,100 grams per tonne silver. So had we deepened that hole by 5 metres, we'd have got onto this discovery 2 years early. But another example of always to go back and make sure you finish off things. And that's the persistence for you, which is one of the secrets to success in any exploration. So this is what the mineralisation looks like. It's full of silver, very silver rich, but also gold rich. It's got a lot of these classic ruby silver minerals in them, proustite, pyrargyrite. It's very unusual in the Lachlan Fold Belt, or even in Australia, to see these types of minerals. That's why I like it. This is a very different set of geology. It's a very different structural setting compared to most of the deposits that we've seen in the Lachlan Fold Belt and elsewhere. And that's always a good sign for the discovery of something large and something different. These are examples of the high-grade veins in through here. This is 0.9 metres, basically, at 3,150 grams silver, and I think it was running about 2.5 grams per gold. But we've got some nice thick intersects, bulk mining widths, 41 metres at 4.7 grams gold equivalent, which is 2 grams gold, 176 grams silver, that should say. But within it, we're getting these high-grade gold and silver veins, a metre at 12 grams gold and 680 grams silver, 0.3 metres at 23 grams gold and 1,100 grams per tonne silver, or 32 ounces. So fantastic grades, and if those continue, as you heard Rob said, we're going to add tonnes and in particular ounces very rapidly as we do more drilling. So this now is a view of the sort of the same area that I showed previously with the old IP. This is the northern end of the main shaft, the Commonwealth resource. There's main shaft. There's the 145,000 tonnes at about 10 grams gold. So there's about 50,000 ounces of gold equivalent just in that little area there. And to the northeast, only 200 metres away, we've now got multiple drill holes in here. And we're getting up to, between 50 and 75 metre thick zones of gold and silver mineralisation. And most of these are running, out of the 6 holes, 4 of them are running 100 gram metre intercepts from surface. So these are, again, very thick, bulk mineable widths, potentially another pit emerging here. And we've got, if you consider the sort of 50,000 ounces there, we can sort of quickly work out that our ounces are rapidly starting to climb. So we put out another drill result this morning, 126 metres at 0.6 gold and 25 grams silver. It's bulking out. There are narrower, high-grade widths within it, 3 metres at 4 grams gold, 376 silver. Here's the lower intercept in that hole, hole 11 that we drilled a couple of years ago, 48 metres at half a gram gold, 137 silver, but again, including in it these high-grade veins, 0.9 at 2.4 gold and 3,100 silver. So the question is how far is this open? Where does this all sit? We think this, the mineralisation is fault offset at the bottom to the west here, and we think there's significant potential to connect these two mineralised zones at depth in this position in through here. Another priority area for drilling. So this is a section just through the northern portion, just to show you the thickness. Starts off at a lower grade near surface, probably some surface leaching, and then rapidly sort of bulks out. This is our 126 metre intercept, close to the previous drill hole. There are high-grade chutes and veins sort of plunging in and out of this section, but significant potential at depth here, and a lot of silver in a very large halo line above this, this mineralisation here. Just to show you some of the veins, these are individual metre intercepts and narrow vein intercepts. Silver up to sort of up to 1,000 grams here, and gold up to 24 grams over on the left there. Just standing back slightly, this is Silica Hill. We can see this huge silver halo. There's probably a few million ounces of silver as low-grade alteration sitting above one of our key target zones here that's about probably 200-300 metres below surface. There's Silica Hill, there's Commonwealth, and there's our copper zone below Commonwealth. And so we've got mineralisation over a vertical extent of at least 400 metres here. So again, just scale emerging everywhere. And the question now is exactly what's hiding underneath the top of Silica Hill. The previous photograph was taken from over here, looking back to here. We're standing on top of the hill here, looking down. All of our work has been down here, and the question is what's lying below our feet. And this is an image of the IP that we put out today, and we've got 3 new lines. It was very difficult terrain to complete the surveys in. That's why it's taken us quite a while to get this data. Here are the drill holes at Silica Hill, the Commonwealth resource, and we can see there are a number of chargeability anomalies stretching for 300-400 metres this way, 500 metres this way, and there's been no drilling up through there. And there's a direct correlation at Silica Hill with the chargeability anomalies and the good mineralisation. So that's all very encouraging, and this is the southernmost section line. There's Silica Hill again, and this is just an image sort of in 3 dimensions. I'm not sure how it projects in the out there, but basically this is silver in soils draped over the topography, and there's a kilometre long anomaly to the north here, which has got the highest and strongest values for both gold and silver, with no drilling at all in it. So it's a huge potential, huge upside. This is a map of that same area. Here's the drilling at Silica Hill. Here are the IP trends. This is the silver anomaly up through here. And this is the northern end of the resource at Commonwealth, which is again is open to the north. So again, that's a kilometre by a kilometre. We've just tickled the southern portion of it. This is a vast system. It's got huge potential. We're going to be starting drilling there just as soon as we can. We will have to expand the drill program. We were planning to go back sooner rather than later to perhaps just do another 3 or 4 holes at Silica Hill, but it's quite clear to us that what we should do now is stand back and throw a big program to cover all of this area, really open this up, sort of minimum 5,000 metre drill program to hit this with. So that's all in progress. Statutory approval is being applied for, and we're all very excited about getting back out there. Finally, we've also taken advantage of the quiet times to consolidate our ground holding in the area, and all the area I've just shown you is in through here. We've got nearly 1,000 kilometres now of ground throughout the Lachlan Fold Belt. We've noticed that the mineralisation we've discovered is in much younger rocks than most of the Ordovician rocks that Katy Ridgeway lies in, and these have been very poorly explored, so we've strategically picked up most of this terrain here on the back of that our discoveries at Silica Hill. So again, first mover position into quite some unexplored ground very close to some major deposits. So that's all our talk today. We do have some exciting results, obviously, that we've produced over the last couple of years at Broken Hill for Platinum Group metals, and also at Mulga Tank. Please come to our booth and talk to us about that. And finally, we have had a great team over the last 5 years, not just at the board, but at the ground level. And this is the thoroughly excited and confident-looking impact team that has helped make Silver Hill what I think is going to be the next major discovery in the Lachlan Fold Belt. So make sure you follow our story. Thank you very much.